Yellow Cardinal Tarot. My name's Carol, and this is a reading for Virgo. It's a general reading, and it's for March 2024. So, Virgo, what I want to do for you today is I want to look at your energy. I want to look at what energy you're sitting in going into March. And sometimes it could be we're sitting in a pattern that's showing up for us again, something that we're seeing that's, we've seen before. Could be a decision you need to make. Could be a struggle that you're having, whether it's in a relationship, it's at your job, decision you need to make. Maybe I've said that already. So we're going to look at that, your current energy, and that's what you're consciously aware of. And then what I want to do is I want to look at what you're unconsciously aware of. By that I mean I want to look at what's coming up in your shadow that is impacting the current situation you're sitting in. And so we're going to do a little bit of shadow work. And if you are not familiar with the term shadow work, I have a video in my description box to help you out with that. But it's really, it's about healing our stuff. And so I want to know what's coming up for you to heal. And finally, I'm going to get some advice from the tarot. And in the end, I'll leave you with the video to help you out with the situation you're sitting in. So let's get started. I'm going to ask the tarot to give me one card for each section, and I'll only take one card. So let's start off with your energy, Virgo. What sort of energy are you sitting with? And you have the World card in reverse as your first card. What's coming up in your shadow that's impacting the situation here? And I'm going to put these two back in. Try that again. What's coming up in Virgo's shadow? There were two there that fell out. Now there's like 15 that fell out. Okay, here we go. We have the Ten of Pentacles. The Ten of Pentacles is in the shadow. And advice from the tarot. Well, I have two there. The Eight of Swords. Advice from the tarot. The Eight of Swords. All right, now let's look at some clarifiers from the Rider-Waite deck for these three cards. Okay, clarifiers for the world, please. 1, 2. Okay, so we have, looks like the Death card. It was kind of sideways. I'll put it reversed right here. The Death card, and then we have the Six of Wands. That was definitely in reverse. Okay, so Ten of Pentacles, please. Clarifiers for the Ten of Pentacles. Start that again. Ten of Pentacles, please. Okay, when that happens, I change my way of I shuffle these. So I'm going to go back to, there's 1 and 2 right here. Okay, so I'll take that one at the end that popped out. And that was first, that one is next. Okay, 3 popped out here, so I'm trying to, all right, you have the Ace of Swords in reverse, and you have the Seven of Pentacles in reverse, and you have the Star card. Star card. All right, and finally, Eight of Swords, please. Some clarifiers. 2 cards, please. One more. Okay. So we got the 10 of Cups. 9 of Cups, sorry. I always see that full range of emotions there, and I think it's the 9. 9 of Cups and the 5 of Cups. So we have 2 cups in the end. 2 cup cards here. All right. Thinking there's some healing here that needs to be done. Emotions. All right. Before we begin, I did a yearly reading for you, Virgo, in January, and I'll link it below in my description box if you haven't seen it. And what I've done is I pulled your March 2024 card from that reading. I had pulled 12 cards for the 12 months of the year, and your card was the 6 of Cups. So this is going to be your overriding energy for this reading. And the 6 of Cups is the exchange between, it looks like they're exchanging a cup here it looks like they're exchanging a cup between 2 people, 2 children actually. And it's significant that this card has children in it. You have younger children in it. And it's also significant that they're sharing a cup. And cups are about emotions. Cups are about love. Cups are about desires and wishes. And so this particular card is really a card because the 6s are an exchange of giving and receiving. And so this card is really shedding a light on, the relationship that you have with your own inner child. And are you listening to your own inner child? Do you take time to, receive what they want to tell you? And are you giving to them? So it has this receiving and this giving aspect. All 6s have this duality. And so this whole theme for March has this theme of, like I said, getting in touch with your inner child and listening to your inner child and just establishing a relationship with your inner child again, just kind of to see. I know when I first started years ago, when I started this inner child work, I remember I had read this self-help book, I forget what it's called now, but it was about getting in touch with your inner child. And I started to write, where I would, my dominant hand is my right hand. So I would write from that, and then my inner child would respond, and I would print as my inner child and what my inner child had to say. And it actually worked. I got really scared though at that time because I think I wasn't in therapy or anything like that. And so I didn't know what this all meant. And so my inner child was telling me things with my left hand that I didn't want to listen, that I didn't believe. And I kind of got scared and I kind of shut it all down. But it, there is an inner part of you, some of us have more than one part that want to share something with you. And I don't know why, but I felt like that was something I needed to say to you to start off this reading. So Virgo, where are you sitting right now? Well, you start off your current energy with the World, and it's in reverse. And so the World card means that, you're feeling really good in your skin, and you're in a place where you can feel your emotions, you're in touch with your inner child, you're in touch with, you take time to get still, you take time to feel your emotions, and it really is a peaceful card when you get to that point in your life where you can start feeling your emotions and being in touch with who you are. And so it's a real peaceful card. I mean, look at her. She's very, very much in touch with the universe, very much knows that the universe has your back. And so it's in reverse here. So I think you're sitting in a place where, you're definitely not sure whether the universe has your back here. So I'm not sure why, but we're going to look a little bit more here. But I think, first of all, let's look at, the Death card is here in reverse. And so the Death card is about, if you look at this card, there's dead people that are being trampled over. There's just, there's a skeleton here that's on this horse. It's a real creepy, gruesome card actually, but it's very powerful. Because what it's saying is for you is that you're sitting in a place right now where there are certain things or there are certain people in your life that you need to walk away from. Certain things in your life need to die, need to leave your life. And it's sometimes it could mean that you're just going to, distance yourself from certain things, but sometimes it means where you just, you know what, you need to walk away. So, and in order for anything new to come into our life, sometimes things need to leave. And this is what this World card is kind of saying here, where, it's in reverse. And so this is what's going on with you right now, where there's a real resistance to leaving something. I mean, it could be that you're in a relationship with a partner, with a friend, with a colleague, with maybe a job that you need to leave and you need to walk away. But there's a resistance to doing that. And it's difficult. It's not something that's just easy that you can decide like that, right? And so I see here that you're sitting in that situation where maybe you've been thinking about it for a while. And the Six of Cups, or the Six of Wands comes in here. And it's in reverse. And the Six of Wands is about, all my sixes, like I said, are about like a giving and a receiving. They have a duality to it, right? Or winning and a losing. And in this particular case, you have this individual that's coming back from battle. And he's celebrating, he's got this victory wreath here. He's got all his supporters by his side. Looks great on the outside. Everything looks great. But if you pull that green blanket here, you're going to see what's been lost. And so there's something that's been lost here. And there's a real resistance to going there. And I think, and maybe the resistance to walk away. And sometimes, a lot of times, what's been lost here is grief. And so maybe there's a fear. There's a fear of walking away because of the grief that it's going to bring on, right? And that could be a thing also. So it's a general reading. And you're going to decide, what needs to leave in your life. If there's something that needs to leave, or someone that needs to leave, that you need to walk away from. And yeah, it's going to bring some grief. It's part of the grieving process. And I think sometimes we avoid doing what we know we need to do because we're so petrified of what it's going to bring up, what sort of emotions are going to come here. And there's a real resistance to feeling the loss. That's why it's in reverse. And so what's coming up that's impacting sort of your fear of walking away from something? The Ten of Pentacles is, so we're going to look at your shadow. This is what you don't see. The Ten of Pentacles is a family card. And in this particular card, you can see the design up here. I'm not sure how clearly you can see it in this camera. But it's the Kabbalistic tree of life. And it's the only card in this deck that has that symbol. And it really is a symbol for things that we don't see, things that we're unaware of. This is a generation card, it's called too, because you have a lot of generations on this. You look like you have this happy family playing. You have a dog in there and a couple here and kids playing Ring Around the Rosie or something in the background. And on the outside, it looks like it's a very happy card. But there's something here that you don't see. And it is a family card. So what I'm thinking is in your shadow, there's something here that's hidden that maybe you need to look at that has something to do with sometimes, the word generational trauma sometimes it has come to me because it is a generational card. And, we do hold trauma in our shadow. And everyone has trauma on a continuum. And so I'm wondering if there's something here that, you need to look at that's sitting in your shadow that's related to your inability to walk away from the situation you need to walk away from. Ace of Swords is also there. The Ace of Swords is an offer from the universe. It's a gift from the universe. It holds our truth. The truth of the sword. It's authentic. It's our authenticity. But that's in reverse here. And so what I'm seeing is that there's a real truth here that's being repressed, that you don't see, that you need to see about your family. Probably your family of origin. I'm going to assume are, people from, who raised you. And here's this Seven of Pentacles coming up here. And the Seven of Pentacles is a card of this person putting all this effort into this, looking at these pentacles that he's piled up in front of him, and he's looking at it and going, is there something else out there that I don't, feeling like there's something else out there for him. Like, is this it? Is this everything? And so I'm seeing that in your shadow, the real you and who you are is hidden here, and it's for you to get to know, because there's something else that's hidden here that you're not aware of. That's probably affecting the situation that you're sitting in right now. So the advice from the tarot is the Eight of Swords. And this is somebody who's definitely in, this is in reverse here, but in the upright position, the Eight of Swords is someone that is just so up in their head, caught up in their head, spinning all these thoughts that they just don't know what to do with. It could be emotions, it could be thoughts. And it also has to do with, it's a sword. So it also has to do with beliefs, belief systems, beliefs about yourself, things that you've been told by people. And, they're just all spinning in your head and you can't make sense of them. And you just feel like you're all tied up and you just can't see any way out. And there's a blindfold here. She can't see any way out, but she can get out. I mean, if you look at this picture, she's sitting here right here. Let me just show you this. Yeah, she's sitting right here and she's thinking that she's all tied up. She's thinking she sees no way out, but she does. She's actually not in that space right now. It's only up in her head that she's all tied up and can't get out of her head. And it's in reverse here. So there is a real resistance I see on your part to, this is the advice from the tarot. So because it's in reverse, yes, there is a resistance. You don't realize that there is a way out. And the tarot was saying there is a way out, and there seems to be a resistance to even acknowledging that there is a way out. And the Star card is the first card that comes up. It's an absolutely beautiful card. You have this individual here. They're naked. And because they're very, very vulnerable. When we're naked, we're very vulnerable. And they're naked, but they have one foot in the water, which is all about emotions, and 1 foot grounded. And they're going to get really vulnerable. They're going to get very grounded, very vulnerable, because they want to heal. The Star is a beautiful card of healing. It's all about healing. And so there's some healing here that needs to take place. And I can see it because we did establish that there was probably some trauma could be some generational trauma that's sitting in your shadow. And so there's some healing that needs to take place. The Nine of Cups is the next card that comes up, and the Nine of Cups is it's 1 cup away from the 10. The 10 of Cups is that full rainbow range of emotions that we can feel. And emotions are meant to flow in us and they're meant to flow out. But the Nine of Cups is someone who's sitting there and saying, no, I'm not moving from this spot. I don't care if you're going to offer me another cup. I'm quite content where I am, thanks. And it's kind of the same position that this person is in, where she's feeling like she's all caught up here in her head and just not willing to go inwards or see if there's a way that she can get out of this, because there's a lot of emotions here to be felt. Of course there are. But there's, you know, I see you just kind of sitting there going, I don't want to touch those. I don't want to touch that. And, you know, it understandable, totally understandable. You know, there's a great fear of going inwards and starting to feel some of what the things that we need to heal. And here's the 5 of Cups that show up. And the 5 is all about change. Yes, there's a lot of conflict in this card, but this is a card of change. So very beautiful that you did end your reading with a card of change, a number 5, because you're sitting here, and I can see you sitting here with, you know, maybe you're sitting in a real place of hopelessness here, because you look like you have these 3 cards that have spilled, and so you're really stuck on these 3 cards. This pain that you're feeling in your head, it's really keeping you stuck, right? Really keeping you stuck. And I can see here that you're stuck with these 9 of Cups, where you're not willing to kind of, I don't want to touch those emotions. And this card is saying, you know, look at these 2 cups here. You know, yes, you've got some stuff. We've all got stuff. And you're focusing on the real pain here of it all. And a lot of it is in your head. And you're not seeing that, you know what? There's some water flowing here. Water's all about emotions. And it's time to get in touch again with some of these emotions. And when you start slowly to get in touch with some of these emotions, that's when things are going to change. Someone once told me that, you know, there's this big, huge, I had this big, huge fear of getting in touch with it. It was my anger when I first started doing a lot of my healing, my intensive healing for my own trauma. And I didn't want to touch my emotions. I didn't want to go near them. And one of my therapists said to me, you know, just think of your emotions as a tap, where you just open them a little bit, and then when they get too much for you, close them. Next time, open it a little bit more. Close. You know, if you have to, just think of it as a tap. You open it a little bit and then close it. You know, you get to close it. You get to open it whenever you want. But the thing what the tarot is saying here, that it's time to open that tap a bit, and let some of these emotions out. You know, that Pandora's box where we just don't want to open up. But there's a real need here for healing for you. A chance for healing. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to recommend a video for you at the end. And it'll be a great video for you. It's all about how to journal from your emotions. It's all about emotional journaling. You know, what are you going to do with these emotions when they start coming up? And I teach you how to journal from them. So I will link that in the end. But before I do that, I'm going, here's our card. I'm going to give you a spirit animal oracle card from Colette. Baron-Reid. I like to say where I got these cards from, because I know when I watch tarot, I like to know where they're coming from. All right, so 29, you got giraffe. The giraffe spirit. See the big picture. See the big picture. Giraffes stretch upward to reach the treetops and look down from the high vantage point. When giraffe spirit appears, it is a sign to observe from a higher view. In all aspects of your life, it's time to stretch your neck out and broaden your view. Open your eyes to what others need or are experiencing, and see the big picture you fit into. No matter how great your wisdom, knowledge, or experience, you don't want to overlook details and connections that will help you better understand yourself and your circumstances. So stretch yourself. Look beyond what catches your attention at eye level, and know that not everything is as obvious as you might like it to be. Spirit will bestow upon you a new perspective that might make all the difference. And to me, when it's telling you to stretch yourself. To me, it kind of means, you know, open up that tap, just stretch a little bit more. And, you know, there are things that you're going to see that aren't so obvious. We talked about what's sitting in your shadow. So good luck, Virgo, and I will see you mid-March. Take care. Bye-bye.